Hello, we all on here. Welcome, welcome to the Autonomous Developers Sync. It's actually been, I think, about a month, 4 weeks since our last one. We didn't have a ton of content, and frankly, we've been kind of heads down trying to get everything ready for mainnet launch. So we did miss our last sync, but glad to be back this week. So I think we have a decent agenda today to get through. Wanted to start off with stealing some thunder. I know Jim probably is going to talk about this as well, but the big news for Autonomous this week is we will be enabling transfers. So essentially, TGE will be happening. This has been a long time coming. I know many people have been waiting for this patiently. We've had, many dates get floated out there in the past, but it is kind of coming to fruition here very soon in 2 days. So we're all very excited, and I hope the community is excited as well. Following on that will be kind of the next stage of the phase 2 of our mainnet launch, and that will be enabling of domains. So we have been, anybody who's following kind of the different repos knows we've been hard at work and getting prepped for that. So we don't have a solid date. You'll probably get a solid date when it's a week or so out. But until then, just keep an eye on the repos, and I think you'll get a good idea of the progress that we're making. Kind of related to that is going to start kind of planting the seed of as we're launching mainnet, and the usefulness of our current testnet will be waning, and we'll be wanting to kind of get a new testnet that's more in alignment with the life of domains on mainnet. So just putting that out there, that we will be planning the deprecation end of life of Taurus testnet. At least maybe this will become Taurus 1. I don't think we have a name yet for the next testnet, but maybe it'll be Taurus 2. But whatever it is, the next testnet will be coming, and Taurus will be getting end of life soon. I think that's it from the overall highlights. Jim, you want to jump into community?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. So yeah, as you said, the big news is obviously the call on Wednesday, which I'm going to get onto. So first up, hot topics. So as usual, nothing critical. Everything seems to be working nice and smoothly on mainnet. Clearly, there's a lot of excitement about the transfer activation we've got planned, but behind that, the network is working very well, as it has been for since the end of last year. So yeah, no real big hot topics. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Tag me or pipe up in the chat if you're experiencing any problems. I do want to thank everyone who upgraded to the latest mainnet client. It was actually a very orderly and timely upgrade. So thanks very much. We did put out a few appeals to get everyone onto the new build, which leads me into the next item, of course, which is that there's a new build today. This is the July 14 build, and that is for mainnet and Taurus. There's also a Space Acres build 0.2.14. We are just waiting on the last few builds to work their way through the CI pipeline before the docs are updated, and I'll post a release announcement, so everyone's going to get tagged in the usual way. But yeah, new build today, July 14. It'd be great if everyone could jump on that at their earliest convenience. Okay, moving on. A little bit of alpha today. So BSC, Binance Smart Chain, is now supported by our bridge on Taurus. So we released the bridge a while ago. It's at bridge.taurus.autonomous.xyz, and it did just support Ethereum Sepolia testnet. So you could go from Taurus Auto EVM over to Sepolia. We've now got a route to the BSC testnet on there, so it's in the same place. I will drop the link in the chat. And if you're watching later, I'll put it in the video description as well. But yeah, we'd love everyone to check it out, and we'd appreciate any testing feedback you may have. There will be some official announcements coming out either today or tomorrow morning. So yeah, BSC supported, and obviously our plans are that the bridge that we've got running on Taurus Auto EVM will come over to mainnet Auto EVM when it's deployed. So yeah, any testing gratefully received. Okay, and then the final big item is obviously the launch party call, which we've got scheduled for 1600 UTC on Wednesday. That's in 2 days from now. In fact, 2 days and 1 hour, roughly. On there, we're going to be introducing Dawn of Autonomy campaigns, which we've been talking about for a while. We've got Emil on the call. He's going to be introducing one, and Randy's going to be introducing another one, which are great ways for you to get involved in this. Hopefully, they're going to be exciting and engaging for everyone. People are going to want to participate. There's some exclusive items up for grabs. As well. Actually, I'm not going to go too deep on that. I want to save the surprise. Then, of course, we've got the live transfer activation, which will happen on the call. The Subspace Foundation will be activating transfers, enabling transfers on the network. We're also going to get an update on domains. Jeremy's going to give us the latest there. Peter's going to be on to give us the latest information on exchange integrations. I can see that already we've got some questions in the chat about exchanges. I do want to point out that we will share the information that we can, but some detail is restricted by NDAs. We've mentioned this before when asked, but we will share the information that we have or that we can share, sorry. And then finally, we're going to have the ecosystem grants program launch. We've been talking about this for a while. Those who have been attending all the calls will know that it's kind of been in a state of readiness for a while. It's been on the roadmap. It's been a completed item on the roadmap for a while. And we do have a couple of people who are going through pre-applications, testing the process out for us. But if you're a builder, which I hope the audience today, we've got some builders out there. If you have an idea, if you have a dream that you feel you can realize on our infrastructure, our DSN, or a great idea for an autonomous agent, please do reach out and let me know. But there's going to be the official launch is going to be on Wednesday of that grants program. And we are also going to have a Q&A. We are collecting questions up front. If you'd like to pop them into this form here, we will try to get to as many as we can on the call. But yeah, if you have a question, please pop it in there. Nothing left for me to say today, Jeremy, apart from hopefully I'll see everyone on Wednesday. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jim. Ved, you're going to catch us up on protocol.
Sure. Hey, everyone. We've been looking at a few staking fixes on both Taurus and mainnet. The Taurus upgrade has went in last Friday, I believe, and we are getting ready for a mainnet upgrade, hopefully tomorrow. And apart from that, we are currently working on a quality of life improvements for the versioning of the bundles. Note that this only affects the operators, not the consensus nodes as such. This is still not in yet. We are currently working on that, but we just want to keep updated on this. Anyone interested, they can actually look at the PR that's currently open as well. Yeah, more to follow on this once we have this landed and ready to be landed on mainnet and Taurus.
All right, Carlos, how's auto drive coming?
Yeah. So I forgot to add some things because I thought that we had this 2 weeks before, so I have a few items more. Okay. So regarding AutoDrive, we've improved since the last DevSync quite a lot. The downloads, the experience around downloads through two mechanisms, basically chunked file downloads and async downloads. This basically translates into the user experience that we add a new feature that the user, instead of enter AutoDrive and trying to fetch directly a file from the DSN, when this file is a bit bigger than usual, maybe 2 MB or higher, and they instead of downloading directly from the DSN, what they're gonna do is basically ask Autodrive to download it first, and they will get basically a progress bar that will be marking and keeping him up to date uh, how this download progress, and when the file has been downloaded by Autodrive, it will be available from the caching layer, and then the user would be able to download this big file. And this was one of the features that we introduced. We had some other UI improvements regarding the file preview in Autodrive in the metadata section. Also in the auto files gateway, we fixed some bug that we had because we had some misunderstanding between protocol and product or on the life cycle of object mappings. That's already sorted out, and yeah. And then finally, we have been working on internal tools, basically because now we have several environments, staging, production, and many networks. So we had to implement some tools for streamline the deployments of AutoDrive and AutoFiles Gateway.
Great. So that object mapping fix, just to explain a little more what that was, is we were marking something as archived once it hit the 100 block level, and object mapping was emitted from the protocol and said this is where this is going to be located. What was happening was that until a segment's actually created, that was a future looking. This is where it will be, not where it is. And so we've moved those mappings happening and the kind of going from archiving to archived status to when the segments are created. So the data will in fact be where it says it is going to be. Okay, moving on from there, I'll just talk a little bit about where we are with Astral. There's a new something new on here today, and that's Auto Portal. And I see there is a question, I believe, in the chat about Astral as well, so the repair schedule. So this may be timely for that. So with Astral, kind of made the decision in the last month or so to move interactive functionality to what we're calling currently Auto Portal. So that means things like staking, nominating, XDM, those will not live in Astral, they'll live in their own application layer. So that's what we've been working on kind of in the background. And as part of that, getting the indexing kind of rock solid and performant has been something Saeed has been working on. Do you want to catch us up where you're at with that, Saeed?
Yeah, sure. First of all, many issues with Astral is already solved. For example, it never experiencing that going out of sync in the last 3 weeks. So that's a good news for us. It's been working around the clock, but specifically for staking, the operations, basically the logic is really easy to understand, but when you wanted to implement and have all of the data in place, it's get tricky and complicated. The reason is the data is sparse around the protocol, and we do have some practices on protocol, for example, lazy conversion, which means you have to take control and do the operations beforehand. Maybe the protocol will not reach the state to do the operation and calculate the final state, but when you're indexing, you have to do all of them in order to show a comprehensive or correct output. So that said, many things must had to be changed on the indexing of Astral for the staking, and it is done. We couldn't catch up you guys on the last 2 weeks because we didn't have a lot of like update, but over the last months, many changes have been done on the Astral. Some of the calculation is happening outside the staking with a little delay following the staking of each one of the blocks regarding the staking. And all of that calculation is also happening with all of the practices that we have on the protocol side. So basically every single line is just following the protocol, making sure all of the calculation is correct. And I'll let it run, I guess, on Friday. And we are sitting at epoch 11,000 right now. It's halfway through, I guess, in 3 or 4 days, it should be catch the tip of the chain. And we do have like it's also designed to be compatible with the auto portal. So all of the tables are in place that, for example, you can see the position of each one of the nominators that you have, or each one of the operators to say like, if the operator is available, how much tax did they receive, or how much reward did they receive, and etc. And you can see the live and real-time data, but if it's going through the epoch, you cannot see all of the things that's happening during the epoch. After the epoch is transitions, basically all of the data will be freezed on the protocol side, and then you can see all of the valid data. But if you're staking or withdrawing or any other actions during the epoch, you will see it as a pending status, and it will comes back and update your basically the account after the epoch has been transitioned.
Great. From a UI standpoint, I was actually planning on demoing it today, but then our Taurus runtime upgrade and how we're handling share price actually broke the UI, so it's not available to demo today. But I will say it is, at least I think it is more intuitive. It shows a lot more information that is useful to the user. Jim's used it. I don't know if he has any feedback on it, but there is good progress being made on that. You'll be able to see that repo soon in the Autonomys, in the Autonomys organization. So just keep your eyes peeled for it. It will also, it won't be right away, but XDM will be coming to the portal as well. So that we'll have a nice bridge-like, bridge UI for internal movements within Autonomys. What else is there to say about this?
Just one thing about XDM. So XDM is basically means indexing all of the things that's happening on the EVM node. So we're missing that part. The reason was because we do have some optimization on the protocol, and it wasn't very compatible with the subquery. So as we mentioned in the last, in the first action that we forked the subquery node, we also fixed that problem. And I ran it again to sync on the domain side as well. Like it is also has been syncing since Friday. So we should expect to see all of the data in a few days.
Okay, great. So that'll actually be, it's going to be important, obviously, for the UI, but I know many are also kind of anxious to get the results of our contest that we had around XDM. So being able to index the EVM side of that was important. And so getting that complete will allow us to tabulate the results of that contest. I'll say I know many are anxious to get that. It is going to take, it won't be as high a priority as getting launched. So once we're launched, we'll come back and do many of these calculations and get everybody kind of up to date on where they are in those contests. I think everybody prefers that we put our prioritization on getting domains fully launched. So, all right. Anything else?
I've got a couple of things. So
Okay.
first of all, yeah, crossing the narrow sea results is on my to-do list to chase you, Jeremy. Don't worry, anyone out there who's worrying, it's on my list, and I will keep bringing it up in our one-to-ones, Jeremy. So you asked for feedback on the Auto Portal. So it's always better to know that you've broken it before you launch into a demo, of course.
Yes.
And there's always that temptation just to put one more feature in, which breaks it just before you want to show it off. But yeah, I have had a play with it, and it's great. It's the words that I wrote down when you asked for my feedback just then were it's cleaner, it's more focused, and it's more intuitive. It just makes a lot more sense, and I'm excited to share it with the community. And I haven't even worked on it, so it's it's really I think that it's going to be very well received. And if I can take a bit of a liberty, Jeremy, we have had a couple of questions from the audience. So Mahmood has asked questions about exchanges. I'm not sure if I saw a question come in as well on the form. Maybe that's yours, Mahmood. Yeah, so exchanges, we will be sharing all the information that we have on exchanges on the launch party call. So please do join us on Wednesday to get everything, get the update there. And then a second question, which I'm guessing from the user's profile picture is Ching Lizzy. So does Astral have a specific repair schedule? As we've just alluded to, there's going to be a replacement to the staking interface. It's not going to be in Astral. It's going to be something new. And yeah, hopefully we'll be in a position to share that maybe on the next DevSync, although we're going to be incredibly busy for the next couple of weeks. So forgive us if it's not. And then question 2, you're asking about running an operator on mainnet. So we have discussed this in Discord, but initially the operator set will be permissioned. So we'll be providing updates as we go along as we go. So yeah, stay tuned for information there. Thanks for the questions, guys.
I'll say regarding the repair schedule, as Saeed alluded to, I think the repairs to Astral outside of staking and XDM are complete. I mean, we're in a very good state on Astral. It's been very stable. We haven't been going out of sync. I think response times are all reasonable. So, and then, yeah, on the operator side, what the initial operators on mainnet are going to be permissioned, but we will have Taurus 2 or whatever we decide to call it that will need lots of testing. And so you will, I'm sure, be able to come in there and attempt to break things and point out flaws in which we may have. So, all right. You want to do the outro, Jim?
Yeah, so I can't remember what catchphrase we have. Go on, Jeremy.
We need to get a script for this instead of just like ad-libbing it every week.
Well, we're very much a community, so building together, I think, is the sentiment, you know, and we appreciate everything the community does for us. So I think there's actually a pretty snappy tagline that I'm going to memorize and add to the agenda that's in the outro video. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. Yeah, and let's build together.
All right.